Hello, I'm back this week with another episode of the monthly Recurring Revenue Diaries and the challenge that I've set myself and now a lot of you to try and increase more monthly recurring revenue in your business. Now, I can hear that helicopter above, I'm not sure if you can, but I'm just in a tiny window of time juggling, picking up my child from a sports camp, doing all of the things, running a business, so there is no time to re-record and we're just going to go with it. I am excited to share with you today's episode because it's all about what happens when things aren't going your way, and this is going to work for you whether you're trying to create monthly recurring revenue or not. It's actually about you just not having the revenue in your business that you want at a certain moment, and it's going to work even if it's not a recurring revenue product. So I wanted to just give a little recap about the challenge that I'm doing. So earlier this year, I realised that the current business model I had, which is essentially showing up, launching, thinking of new things, which I love doing, bringing new products into the world, was not really that sustainable with a young family. I love teaching people about business. I love supporting them with the legal side of the business. I am not just called Lucy Legal, I embody the whole thing. It's the business name, but it is also me. I love supporting business owners to legally protect their businesses and to just run a business online, which is why I'm doing this YouTube series. And but I realised that it's just not sustainable to be on all the time, and it'd be just so nice to not have to get to from 0 to X, whatever that number is that we need every month. Every single month, and I wanted to have a little bit of sustainability to know that some of the money was locked in. And there's a big misconception when it comes to recurring revenue, because a lot of people say that if you have a payment plan, that isn't truly recurring revenue, and it's only if you're on a subscription product. Now, I want to kind of quash that idea, because if you have a product that you've sold, so for example, we have our Lux bundles, which you can have a 5-part payment plan for. So the Lux bundles give you all of our legal templates, and you can spread the cost over 5 monthly payments. Now, that is more reliable than having a monthly membership where people can opt to cancel the membership at any point. So within our membership that we have, the Get Legit Hub, people can terminate at any point, and that's intentional. We don't want to lock people in, we don't want people to have a long contract, we want them to join, get the support they need. Most people stay for a long time, but if people don't want to, they're not locked in. So when you compare those two things, the actual fact that someone has signed up for an offer from you, they have to pay those 5 monthly installments, that is actually more of a commitment and something that you can rely on more than perhaps the idea of just having a membership. So I think there's definitely a way to look at it and to make sure that you're not missing an opportunity there by just looking at a membership in the way that, oh, that's the only way to get monthly recurring revenue. It isn't. So the challenge for me was to create more monthly recurring revenue, and I set you that challenge too, to see if you wanted to do that and how to do it. And I also wanted to stick to my own brand values of not creating a mentoring or a mastermind. So if I am doing those offers, they're not part of this challenge. They're not going into that total. I wanted it to stick to just being purely legal. So that's where we are with the challenge. And it has been going really well. When I last looked at the stats, we'd gone up by 9% on monthly recurring revenue, which is huge. But it hasn't always been that way since I've been starting in February. It's been peaks and troughs. And I wanted to talk to you today about the times when it isn't working, when things feel stuck. And as I said, this will actually work for you whether you are looking at just being stuck in your membership or being stuck with monthly recurring revenue. So the couple of things that you need to think about, and the first one of those we can break down into 3 parts. The first thing that you need to think about if things feel stuck is the offer. The offer itself. And I don't want to jump in first of all and say, is it a good offer? What I want to do is say to you, when people first come to you and start working with you in that offer, what is their experience? So if you have got a situation where people join a membership, for example, and it's a really sticky onboarding process, they potentially will come in, take a look around, try and find what they need, and they're going to leave again. You need to try and build them a process where it's really, really clear. So you're getting them from being new and basically completely unsure about what they're doing to understanding your membership. Did you know that most memberships fail because they're too complicated? Not because they're not good enough, but because people are so overwhelmed by all the information. And I think as entrepreneurs, we're trying to be so helpful sometimes that we think we need to put more and more in there, but actually that can have a negative effect. So when it comes to running a membership, simplicity is your friend. Bear that in mind. The next thing that you need to think about when you're, and in fact it works whether it's a membership or whether it's just your onboarding process generally within your offer. The next thing to think about is, are you able to provide a quick win? Again, whenever someone is working with you, whether they're working with you one-to-one or in a membership, whatever it is there a quick win that you can give them so that they get the results that they want and they need straight away? So they think, this is brilliant, I knew it was going to change everything, I love working with that person. That person, of course, being you, they're loving working with you because they're getting what they hoped they would from working with you. Can you find a quick win? The third thing that you need to think about is whether your offer is actually any good. And by that, I mean, are you getting people from A to B in the way that you say you can? Are people actually getting results? And that does kind of tie into the first bit, although the first bit is more about that initial part when they come to you. But this second thought is about, are people actually getting results? And are they staying because they just like spending time there and actually they're staying for the community? And if so, you might need to tweak the offering, but are you getting them the results that they need and they want? And are you getting them in the right time frame? And it may be, and this is what I've realised, is that you may be the author of your own misfortune? Is that a phrase? I feel like this is the phrase. Let me know. But basically, what I'm trying to say is it the case that you have done your job so well and that's why people leave? Because that might be the case as well. It may be a case if you are sitting in a situation where you've got quite a bit of member churn, that you actually, I think it is the author of your misfortune. You've basically created a situation where you're so good at what you're doing, you're getting people results and they don't need to be in your membership anymore. And that was one of the things that I was looking at in particularly for our membership at the moment is, are people getting the results and do they need more support? So I have re-looked at the process. So now when people join the membership, they get a success roadmap. They get a roadmap to take them from feeling lost with the legal side of running their business to being legitimate. And they also start that process now with an audit. So we always had a roadmap, but I don't think on reflection it detailed the breakdown of steps enough. So it now does that as in really step by step so that people are really guided through the process. But in the first instance, it asks people to do an audit to find out where are you in this process, how much have you got to do, and allow people to get a list, because I think that's what they want. And then also realising that once people have gone through that list and they've done the thing, they may want to leave. And if they do, then that makes sense. The idea isn't always to just stay in a membership and be there forever. People aren't going to always want to be in your product. And I think realizing that is also really important because it means that you know that you need to step up on your marketing, which is the second phase of what I wanted to talk about today. So the marketing problems usually fall into one of two categories. The first is that you aren't actually marketing your offer. And by this, I mean that you're not shouting about it. Are you actually showing up on social media and selling that thing? Are you actually sending emails out regularly? Work out how many people that you want to get into that offer. Start looking at how many times you need to email people or reach out to people to get the numbers that you need in your membership, in your offer, whichever it is. But I think the main reason that people often don't get the sales that they want or sales go stagnant is because they start to lose confidence and they're not actually marketing. The second reason is that when they are doing that marketing, it isn't very good, it isn't clear, it isn't concise. So again, it's going back to that idea of what are the wins? What are the things that people can get when they work with you? Is there a roadmap? How will you guide them? How will you ensure that when people are working with you, their investment is safe and secure and they're going to get a return. If they invest time into working with you, they are going to get the outcome they want. They're not going to spend time and effort and money navigating your membership or your offer or spending time with you on calls or whatever it might be to then not get the success that they want. So that is in short how I have been tackling this phase of mine where it's really exciting to do a challenge. It's really great to say, great, let's try and get more members, let's try and get more recurring revenue. And that works for a bit, but sometimes it stops. Sometimes the process halts a bit. So it's important, therefore, to work out how to turn that around and how to push that forward. And as I say, that works even if it's not a monthly recurring revenue offer, it'll work for anything. So I hope that's been helpful. Make sure that you like this video and subscribe. And if you have any feedback at all, then please do leave a comment, as I would love to hear from you.